when considering your recent Meta position, how do you account for stock buybacks historically supporting inflating the previous stock price in your investment thesis? So this is a pretty cool question, but literally for this particular purchase that I did when Meta fell in the 90s, the thesis was simple. Meta had a PE of 7, a price to sales of 2.2, earnings growth rate of 11%, revenue growth rate of 10%. It dominates social, a 0.7 peg. And my plan was to get in the 90s and get out somewhere between $120 and $160. I've already opened the third leg of the stool against this position. So entered with usual synthetic long and sold a out of the money call against it. So that's already happening. And that's kind of what I do. So the Meta summary as well. Meta Platforms has never been cheaper. Never. Not since its IPO. It's insane. It generates tons of cash for continuous stock buybacks, and shareholders will continue to begin pressure the company into cutting expenses and increasing free cash flow. Even ignoring the metaverse, it is a deep value play. Let me explain why. Look at some of this data. These are the most used social platforms as of July 2022. And you can see top of the list right there is Facebook with 3 billion users. Number 2 with 2 billion users is WhatsApp. Sorry, that's number 3 after YouTube, which is what you're on now. And number 4 is Instagram with 1.44, call it 1.5 billion users. I mean, it's staggering to think about the social footprint that this company has. Now, over the last 6 years, I didn't trade or buy Meta, but as I say, there comes a point in some people's lives where, oh my God, this is so cheap. I just forget Zuckerberg, etc. Just get some. So that's what I did. There's the forecast over the next 2 or 3 years. You can see there's going to be a slight dip in earnings. I think that's going to be heavily revised because of the layoffs recently. There'll be a cost for that in the latest quarter, but after that, their burn will be a lot less. They got rid of 13% of their staff, which is 11,000 people, I think, approximately. And they're still on track to grow revenue, and earnings, I think, will be an awful lot higher because of the huge rift that they had. In addition, this is also fascinating. We're on the subject of Meta. If you do play on WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook, you will burn 47 hours a month. Wow. So you can tell I don't spend 47 hours a month on these applications. In fact, I don't use Facebook or Instagram or any of that stuff. Well, that's the story for now. So net as well, love him or hate him, this guy Zuckerberg, he managed to buy Instagram for just $1 billion. It's kind of like the only better acquisition that I've ever seen over the last 20, 30 years was Google's acquisition of YouTube. But $1 billion at the time, within 1 or 2 years, it was worth 300 billion. So Instagram alone has a huge value, and it's a money printer. Despite the fact the growth may not be what it used to be in the past, it is massive. Now, back to your buybacks. Sorry for being long-winded, but just to explain why I bought Meta. This one here, they have 42 billion in cash right now. They could easily deploy 10 billion into buybacks with the savings they have from the metaverse. And that would have a good impact on the stock price. I think it would increase the stock price by 20 to 25 bucks or more. I also believe that Tesla will probably do a buyback either before the end of the year or early next year to the tune of $3 to $5 billion. These guys could easily drop 15 and not miss it, not miss a beat. So, but that had nothing to do with my thesis. And the most important thing is last time they did do a stock buyback. I forgot to mention this point. They spent $42 billion at $330 a share, and they lost $33 billion. So they didn't time their last buyback very well. That's why I don't really care about buybacks. I have to look at the fundamentals and be comfortable with them before I jump in. And if there is a buyback, that's icing on the cake.